for life.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, Friendsday, January 14th. The Anti-Hero broadcast is the news entertainment broadcast for all first responders, veterans, and blue-collar Americans. This show is, of course, brought to you by Human Performance. Go to hp-trt.com. Use promo code HERO. Save 10% on your testosterone, your GLP-2s, your peptides, anything you need. Now they have DECA and Anavar medically prescribed to you for your men's fitness journey. Go to hp-trt.com. Save 20%, not just your initial purchase, but every single month. And GhostBed, go to ghostbed.com/anti-hero. Save 10% on their already ridiculously low prices. Everything from pillowcases, mattress toppers, cooling patented technology sheets, and their award-winning mattresses. If you got to replace something in the bedroom, go to ghostbed.com/anti-hero or use promo code anti-hero. Replace some of the bedding, save 10%. Tell them we sent you. And, of course, our boy Jim at Elevated Silence. Go to elevatedsilence.com. Use promo code antihero15. Save 15% on your can. They have suppressors for everything from 22s to 50 cals. You need it. They got it. They have that small business touch, big business logistics. Jim will hook you up. He'll walk through every step of the process for getting a suppressor for your weapon. So go to elevatedsilence.com. Use promo code antihero15. Save 15%. Not one slip up there.
You didn't, but you skipped the reviews.
I that's my call, Mike. It's not mandatory.
I know. I'm just saying.
All right, you ready for it?
You can't claim no mess up without.
You ready for it? Yep. GhostBed, 60,000 plus 5-star rating and reviews, in-house customer service, all handcrafted here in the USA and Canada. I forgot the other part.
That's good.
That's good.
Now you didn't slip up.
Free shipping on return.
And don't forget Patreon. Don't forget our Patreon. We were live yesterday on Patreon. Join, like, subscribe, and good time yesterday.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we'll be covered. Jimmy's got a bunch of updates on what were we talking about this morning?
Somalia.
Trump blowing the shit out of everybody in other countries. We were looking at Iran. They were working on Syria.
Somalia.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude,
Somalia? It's not Syria?
No,
yeah,
Somalia. You want to open
bombings in
daycares?
Somalia?
We're going to bomb you.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Well,
it
it's
was anything
ISIS.
worth
It's
bombing
ISIS in Somalia.
Yeah, it's ISIS and Al-Shabaab.
You know, those nice people that come to our country and open daycares for our kids, they happen to associate with ISIS.
Here's the thing.
Center.
There's a very good chance some of that fraud money went right into the coffers of these terrorists that just got blown up.
No.
Say it ain't so, right?
No.
They
wouldn't funnel money back to Somalia for terrorists.
No.
Okay.
No, they're good, hardworking people. They're going to be astronauts one day.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man, the crazy world we live in nowadays. We can cover bombings in Somalia live. And we're going to do a squad workout tomorrow.
Yep.
Is that for Patreon?
Yeah, you can do it.
Mike's old and he can't do it with us, so he's going to coach.
I am doing it with you. I told you what I can do.
Chest.
We can put the bench up. We can put on the bench. We can do shoulders. I did arms yesterday.
Look,
I just can't. Obviously, I can't do deadlifts or squats.
I'm going to be real. You guys are going to embarrass the shit out of me in all of it, and that's okay.
Yeah, like day one. Hey, what is it? What was one of the motivational sayings? You can't have day 20 without day one. You got to take the first step.
You know, the thing that is for me is that, like, I already know I can get back there. You know, so for me, it's like I don't have. I'm not worried about being embarrassed today because I know where I can get to in 6 months.
Yeah, Patreon got to see it yesterday. Jimmy was jacked.
Yeah, Jimmy was ripped.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was an operator. Oh wait, I can't say that. There's a book about only one guy being the operator.
No.
All right. Well, today's Wednesday, Friendsday. Obviously, Wednesdays we dedicate to friends and people that are like-minded like us. We have Waylon Reavis, the former singer of Mushroomhead, now the current vocalist of A Killer's Confession. Let's bring him in. Waylon, what's up, man?
Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Such an honor to meet you, man. I was blasting your music in Iraq, dude.
Thank you. that's first of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for for being able to do a job I'd never be able to do. Thank you so much.
Well, everybody on the stream served, so I mean, like, it's not just me. I mean, and I'm sure Tyler was listening to it too.
Thank you.
Oh
guys.
yeah, I mean that music.
I don't think the generation enough now says that. Thank you for everything you've done for our country. Thank you for giving me the ability to keep running my mouth about the things I want to run them about.
Well, Waylon, are you impressed with me for getting your last name right?
Yes, I am. Ever since Beavis and Butthead, nobody's been able to say my name. So.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw your interview with a DJ, a radio DJ. I think he's got a YouTube channel, and he got it right. And I was like,
yeah.
Man.
Took me a minute to get it right. He talked to me before the show, and he said, "Oh my God, I've been saying your name wrong for 20 years." I'm like, "Yeah, you have."
That shows Tyler's a good host, because I did a whole podcast calling the guy the wrong name the whole way. So Tyler's got it squared away.
I just let it go because I gave up. I was just like, I realized after like the first 7 years, it was never going to change. So I was like, no, go ahead. Dude, I'm Reavis. I hate it, but I'm Reavis.
So, I mean, like I said, you're very like-minded like us, and honestly, like most of American society, and we'll get into that later. But just kind of like recapping, 30,000 foot view of your life, like what got you into music? I know from 20 years ago, a guy moved to my hometown with the Mushroomhead, like, X's logo on his forearm. Yes, and he's like, you don't understand the scene there, man. It's just something different. And so I saw that you were born in North Carolina.
Yes, Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
Middle of nowhere. I was born in bluegrass country. And I'll just be honest with you. My dad named me Waylon. My brother's Willie. So you can go ahead and
Waylon and Willie and the boys.
Exactly. He said it on the answer machine in the morning. My dad'd be like, "You've reached Dean and Jane, the boys." He'd say it just like that. And my dad passed away in 2010 on his deathbed. My dad had a great sense of humor. And he leaned over and said, "Give me your hand." I said, "Okay, Daddy." He goes, "I gave you the greatest name in country music history." Yeah. And you just chose to sing that metal shit. I said, "Daddy is what called me." I just like I fell into it. I got lucky. I tell people all the time, it's like you can be as talented as you want, but when you hear the story of being in the right place at the right time, it's the truth. I've met so many talented artists that have never been able to get off the ground. It's just, and especially now, even to back in the day, when record execs would come to shows and they'd send scouts, it was hard to find. It's even harder now. You've got more at your fingertips now, and it's harder to get noticed than it's ever.
I've noticed that you have to play some kind of weird game. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't really matter your talent, because I've met people that cannot play the guitar that are on Octane. And it's crazy because, and it was brought to my attention 2 years ago that you don't play the instruments anymore on the recordings. It's all done, and then you play live shows. And I was like, oh, that makes sense then.
Well, that depends. Like I work with Dusty Bowles and Evan McKeever. Like I have two teams. I have my writing team, which I am a part of. I have two of my producers and co-writers that I work with. And then I have my live team that will go out with me and help. Well, they have the insurmountable task of trying to recreate what we did in the studio while we're going, "That's cool." And nobody's thinking, well, how are you going to pull that off live? It's like, I'm in the middle of it right now as we speak. I try to do an album a year. As soon as my album drops, nobody really realizes I'm already writing the next chapter to what I'm doing. So, and that's the industry today. It's like you've got to pretty much, if Spotify had their way, I would be writing and releasing a song every Friday.
Yeah.
Every Friday. Okay. A, I don't have the money for that. And B, I got grandkids and I got a life to live too. It's like, I don't want to be a part of that. I liked, it's like releasing an album year is the hardest thing in the world now. It's just to compete because everybody, because of TikTok and Reels, they have an attention span of a gnat. So like, My songs are getting shorter by the moment. Like they're just getting shorter and shorter and shorter because nobody has the attention span to sit through a song. It's crazy.
Do albums even come out anymore? I mean, I notice everybody's starting to do just singles.
It's called a waterfall. What you try to do is like you release a song, and then 4 weeks or later you release another song and another song and another song, and then by the end of it, then you put it all together, and there's your album. And then once the album hits, it's done. Spotify has nothing else to do with it. It'll get a good 2-3 weeks, through the algorithm, and then they're off to the next thing. So you really have to fight to get somewhere.
What's the realities? I mean, if you don't want to place an actual dollar sign on it, but you write a song, you're like, this is a single. From the get-go, from putting it out to music videos and all that, how much does it cost? Like, I wrote this song from the process of the beginning. So like now we're going to record it all the way to when it's released as a music video. Is it an expensive process?
It can be, depends on where you go. It's like, and this throwing the term there, you get what you pay for as well. Like the better the studio, the more money you spend there. Like to have the top of the line equipment where you sound just like everything else, and you have that. And you guys know you have a studio, you're in them right now. You know what it costs to make yourself look like this right now. Same deal. I would say, and not even including time and gas and food. $5,000 a song.
Wow.
And that's yeah. And then then Spotify is paying you 0.00347 a song.
I've noticed.
And
I've noticed YouTube pays you for every 1,000 views around $10.
Yeah. You get $4,000 for 1 million streams. And I came from the time where you sold 1 million records, that at $9, that was $10 million,
Yeah.
$9.99, there's $9,999,000 that you made, and now 1 million streams is $4,000, and that didn't cover one song. So
and they're making all the money on sponsors and ads and all that on top of it, and you're getting peanuts.
It is, but I've always got peanuts. I've never really seen royalties. I've always been under the underground. I've never been a poster child. I've never been like the one that I wouldn't want to be on TMZ. Like that's the truth.
That's kind of my question is like, there's a difference like in the metal scene. There's like the mainstream metal, and then there's like the underground metal. And if you talk to anybody that likes underground metal, they're like, dude, you don't want to fucking listen to those guys. They're fucking mainstream. They're sellouts. So is that sort of your mentality is like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the underground guy.
I know some mainstream guys, and they're really good friends of mine, but they just have a life I don't want. When you lose the ability to go to Walmart, life's over. I love going to Walmart in the middle, back in the day, back in the middle of the night, and just watch people. Is my thing. I love to sit back and see how dumb somebody can be. It's like you really
go be a cop.
I got pretty good friends.
I will say, night shift as a cop is a lot like people watching at Walmart. There's only a certain portion of the population awake at 3 a.m. and they're usually not up to any good.
Unfortunately, you have to take someone with you, and it gets even worse.
I have a good friend. He's my next door neighbor, Lombardi. Well, really, he's an Akron police officer and a sheriff. And I have other neighbors, and they're always like, "Why is the sheriff in your backyard? And he's letting my dog out, And I'm on tour, and there people come and like, the police are at your house. I'm like, I know they are. He's making sure that my dog goes to the bathroom and not in my house.
Damn, dude.
So you got into, what age did you get? I can remember when I joined my first band, but I remember I learned how to play guitar like around 14 years old. And when did you get into music and decide like this is something I at least want to do?
15. I was 15, and my buddies, I'll explain it from the beginning. Like you heard, I come from a country background, and hard workers. My dad worked on a lumber yard. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness, so metal was not like in my forecast. I was sheltered from that completely, and my buddies all became a in a band, and I'm like, this is how you do it, because I didn't know how it worked. I was like, I figured, the record label put these guys together, they went to school for it or something. Yeah. And I was just like, whoa, you could do this? And I was like, I want to do this too. And the next, I go try, and I was the worst thing you've ever heard. I was better. It was better to listen to a cat in the heat in the middle of the night than it was to me.
Did you start off with vocals?
Yeah, I started off. I tried to play guitar, and I could play a little bit of guitar. I could play piano. I have an ear for it. I can understand notes. Like sometimes I won't be able to tell you what note I'm doing, but I can tell you if it's wrong, because I can hear this frequency, and it kind of just drives me crazy. It just waves in my head. And they started doing that. And then they took me to my first concert where I snuck out to go to a show. And I went and seen Danzig, Marilyn Manson, and Korn. First show. Damn. And they're like, you're not going to meet the band. You're not going to meet anybody. By the time Korn got off stage, I was talking to Jonathan Davis. Talking to him. And I looked at him, and I said the dumbest thing ever. I was like, if my band ever gets signed, I want to open for you. And he said, have your people call my people. 20 years later, I had that conversation with Jonathan Davis in Australia.
Really?
Yes. And Korn's really good friends of mine. They're some of the best people.
Damn, bro.
And I remember Jonathan goes, I remember that tour. He remembered it. And he goes, that was you? And I'm like, yeah. And John and Brian, everybody just took me in. I'm like, little brother, let me sit on the side stage. And I remember I got told by one of their guys, they're like, you know why you're allowed to be here? And I'm like, why? And they're like, because you want nothing. John can look over at you and see the 15-year-old kid that is a true Korn fan. And I was every day. I was like, this is Korn stage. Like this is not happening. And by the end of the tour, it was because we ended up going on Mayhem with them. I got to go on stage and sing Somebody Someone. And at that moment, I looked at myself and I was like, if my career ends.
Yeah, right.
This is it. I said, this is it.
I didn't think I was going to get this far.
And
I mean, dude, that's why it's so wild just getting to talk to you. I mean, I live in a crazy world now where I'm talking to people I never thought you'd even know who the fuck I was, but it's come full circle. Waylon.
It does, man. It's like, but that's the thing. I tell everybody, I'm just Waylon. There's the character that I play on stage, and then there's me. That's dad, and I got my family, and that's what I care about. But
right.
Just like the guy that people think they know that's me is just the character that I portray on stage. And right here he is. He wanted to show up. But there he is.
Man.
There he is.
Is that comfortable?
Actually, if it's not poured too tight, it is. It's made to my face. And but it's a character. Like I learned a long time ago, people go to see scary movies. Same with music. Like people love that just feeling of like something different, a character that's bigger than life. And then I could take it off and put the glasses on. And like, seriously, when I do this, when I put these glasses on, nobody knows it's me. It's the Clark Kent thing works. I'm not telling you, man.
I'll say this too, to be honest with you, your voice is a little bit of a surprise from your vocals.
If we put a flannel on him and a cowboy hat and took him to the fair and had people guess what he does for a living, we'd be millionaires.
Yes,
millionaires. Nobody's guessing metal. Nobody, not one person for the rest of life.
He's driving down an Arca.
He's driving NASCAR. He drives a NASCAR.
That's the thing. It's like nobody wants to hear this accent on stage because it makes it real. Then it's went from being a masked art band to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You're afraid I'm gonna come in the crowd, tie you up, and be like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" It's like, whoa, it makes it too real at that point.
So then I have a question about this. It's maybe a little bit deeper, but do you have a Batman Bruce Wayne sort of alter ego? Like when you put that mask on, do you feel like you really are a different person?
Yes, I do. My wife even will tell you the first time my wife and I have been together for almost 10 years now. And the first time that she wasn't with me when I was in Mushroomhead, and when I started AKC, I was like, I'm not doing this crap no more. I'm not putting the makeup on. I'm not putting the mask on. And the first time that I ever put the makeup on, she's like, you're different. She did not like me. She's like, what in the world is?
Yeah, I mean, you probably gotten used to. I mean, essentially, you're putting your tribal paint on. You're getting in a different mindset.
I mean, I was dead serious, and I looked at her, and she was trying to get a kiss before on stage because I'd always give her a kiss. And this time, I was stone cold, and I wasn't thinking about it, but that was the character. Like, I'd come on stage more like a pit bull. It's like I'd still me, but like once that happened, it happened. And she's like, I don't like that. And I was like, you're right. And I gave her a kiss, and I was like, I can't go up there, hey, I love you, baby, with blood dripping off my face and stuff, because I was doing the makeup, and it was kind of gory. But Tanker, Potamus, what's going on, honey? That's my Frenchie.
Oh, dude, you got Mike's heart now. Mike's a dog guy.
But I go through this transformation now. It's like I put my wife first, and I do not become him until I walk directly on that stage. I won't let it happen before I'm on stage. Like getting ready and stuff. Not till I step on that stage is when I'm ready. There he is,
dude.
Yeah, that's this imagery is.
So when Tyler told me you were coming, he's like, "Hey, bro, Waylon's coming on." He's like, "You're gonna be shocked, Jimmy. He doesn't talk like the way you think he'd talk." like I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you see somebody like that, you have to watch interviews to kind of to understand and understand a person and get how they are. You're not going to get someone's true identity out of that. That's art.
It is art, but it's also like with the Killer's Confessions, there's a message, and it's loud and clear. If you know, I don't want to get anybody canceled with what we stand for and what, because I get letters all the time. You're spewing hate speech. Let it
rip, dude. We don't give a shit.
Save a kid, kill a pedophile. Like, that's what we're about. We're a Killer's Confession. Who do you think we're killing? It ain't somebody innocent, and like the whole thing is a story. And I'm telling the story because, like, when I left Mushroomhead, I worked with children from a state ward type position. They'd come out of trafficking and into our facility, and we had to transition them back into the real world. And I seen the underbelly of that, and it changed me forever. It made me realize how lucky I was first that, something majorly wrong didn't happen in my life, and that I became a rock star, and I had it as good as anybody could have it. And then I became, kind of obsessed with it because I couldn't forget what I had learned. And that's the scary part. I could not forget anything that was told to me. And I had a very hard time dealing with it. And my wife was like, put it in song, put it in music. And that's what we started to do. And I created a character to talk about, this guy that had a mental breakdown that had to deal with that exact situation that I dealt with, except he went on a darker path than I did. And he's kind of took the reins and decided to do some justice.
So
oh, really?
Yes. The Victim trilogy is about a man that lost it and how he's out pretty much hunting predators.
He's like the Punisher.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very much.
So is he out amongst, or is he locked up, or?
Well, we'll have to find out in Victim 3 because the Victim 2.
Right. I get it now. I get it.
I'm not in Victim 3. I can't give away the ending because I'm finishing off the trilogy. I did back-to-back albums, all in the same subject matter, and it's all about this one character, and we're getting ready to find out what his fate is.
So you're kind of going back to like almost like Gordon Lightfoot, and telling a story through your music rather than just singing about something.
Well, here's the thing. I got tired of what the industry's become. It's hook after dumb hook and just dumbing down, and it's all about material things, and it's all about what you got and who you know, or it's a love song. And I've heard this my entire life. I've never heard a story about a killer that's out being going out and taking care of the people that are hurting children. And I was just like, I want to do this differently. I want to do, and I'm doing this for myself. I'm not doing this to be famous. Being famous sucks. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's the worst thing in the world, because you're held to a standard you're never going to get to. Anything you say is going to be held against you. Everything doesn't matter. You're going to offend somebody one way or another. You can't go red, you can't go blue, you can't go anything, because you're going to alienate somebody. So I was just stay in the middle, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay here in the middle, and I'm going to say something everybody agrees with. And if you can't agree with it, I'm going to look at you through a microscope.
Yeah. So let me. I want to go back just a second. So you said you worked with these kids, right? And you're reintegrating them. And you said you couldn't forget what you had seen and heard. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
So, and you said it caused you some mental anguish.
Yes, very much. I had nightmares still.
Okay. I mean, so it wasn't like a conscious choice. It was just that this stuff like was a splinter in your mind that you just couldn't get out.
Yeah. It was. I had to deal with this one way or another, like through therapy or this. And I've been lucky enough to understand that you can take what we do and make it an outlet and deal with things. And I try to teach kids that too. I did that while I was there. I taught them how to write and how to process the feelings they were having. And I was like, you have to be constructive. You can't be negative about it. You have to, you can't move forward by looking back. You have to like put this stuff down and tell somebody and push yourself, into a.
So the writing for your music now, is it more of an outlet for the anger and the hurt, or is it more of a, God damn it, I wish I was there. I wish I was there to help.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, and it's there. Like somebody said it's too dark for them. What I do is not dark. If you listen to it, you'd be shocked how non-dark it is. Like we're not that dark of a band, but it's there to like. It's like if you pull it like strength. If you pull back the layers of the onion, you're gonna find there's a bunch of them. But it's more of a message to bring an idea to your mind of like stranger danger. Watch your kids. That's where you like the real message starts. Is like, this is a dark world we live in, and if you don't love them, nobody's going to. So and that's the guarantee with that.
So when hold on,
do you think that this? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I randomly cut out, and then we'll just start talking, and it's like, so. We're going to get into all that, but your timeline. So how old were you when it seems like you just were you in bands, like getting your reps in before you were in Mushroomhead, or was that just like, boom, now I'm like,
I was in a band for 10 years, worst band in the world. And I was in the worst band ever for 10 years. And well, it wasn't the worst, maybe, but I had played the North Carolina scene for 10 years. And then about year 7 or 8, I started having some success. It took that long to just like where I was doing bigger shows and I was opening for national acts. And then I went out and played with Mushroomhead, and they took notice of me. J-Man quits, and they offered me a job. And the next thing I know, I am the guy. I'm the guy. And I like the movie Rockstar. Like that.
Oh yeah, I love that. Mark Wahlberg.
The top.
Was it hard without being in a successful band? When I say that, I mean like a Mushroomhead level successful band, and just jumping right into it, not knowing what you deserve, not knowing what to expect, not knowing the process.
I had nobody to take care of me, nobody to tell me not to do something. I had nobody to guide me in the correct way of like, take care of your money, know what you're signing. I had here, throw you to the sharks and swim and learn on your own. Like I was with a group of older people. I had a Dave Felton tried, but just like any young man, You throw a young man into the music industry, and you throw them into a crowd of 1,000 people, that he can have anything he wants, and any drug, anything. Yeah. You're gonna watch his moral compass just spin on itself there. Yeah. Same thing happened to me. I got caught up into the underbelly of that for years because I left North Carolina. I left all my friends, left my family, come to Cleveland. I had nobody here, like no real anchor to like keep me grounded. And I drifted away. And for many, many years, it took many years for me to like come to terms. And a lot of it was sadness. Like I had a major depression. The road's already bad enough. You get on the road. You got to understand, it's like, oh, you're on tour, you're doing this. It's the loneliest place you'll ever be. The loneliest. Like, it's great when you're on that stage, but everybody leaves. And then you're back to yourself. And then you're back to your own means. And I chose to self-medicate and be dumb for a long, long, long time. And I've got 10 years sobriety because of that. You know, it's like I tell people all the time, like, don't do that. You're not gonna like the way it ends. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were in Mushroomhead from 2004 to 2015?
Yeah, 2004 to 2015.
When you departed Mushroomhead, were you knowing what you were going to do? It sounds like from talking to you just 10 minutes ago, you didn't have a Killer's Confession ready to rock and roll. You just left and then got yourself straight.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't. I wasn't straight when I started a Killer's Confession. I was
really.
Nope. I was still dealing with some demons. My wife, I had a stroke on stage. It was the worst thing that ever happened, but it was self-medicated. I was sped up like beyond belief, and I had a moment, and it was come to Jesus, you know, like stern intervention from the universe saying, "Hey, you knock this off, or you're not gonna be here anymore." And I have a very understanding and beautiful wife that allowed me to, you know, sit at home and not go to rehab, not go anywhere, and like figure out and get off the drugs. And that's what I did. And everybody's like, well, how'd you do it? I was like, well, fear. I have a fear of drugs now. Like, and nothing is a better deterrent than when you're scared of something. When you know that something happens and you have a stroke and like you lose control of your body, you're scared. And it's like I was terrified for years, and now I'm just angry. If people bring that stuff around, I'm like, you get away from me. Get that away from me. You have no idea what you've got in your hands and what it's going to do to you. You're going to lose your soul. You're going to lose everything about yourself. You're going to become a shell, and everybody who loves you is going to be pushed away. So did
you do it by yourself essentially?
Yeah. Me and my wife. And
you have to give your wife the credit.
I give my wife all the credit. Like she tells me too, like she took care of me. Like my wife did. She took care of me every step of the way, fed me, worked while I refused to leave a bedroom.
What that conversation you had in your head, like that moment. So you go from hardcore drug user, you're doing it all the time, to the incident. For somebody who's never been in that dark place, what was the conversations you had to have with yourself to have the strength to go, I'm not going to do this tomorrow?
I had to apologize. I had to apologize to myself. I had to look in the mirror and accept who I had became, and tell you, when you're looking in the mirror and you talk to yourself, you can't lie. You cannot lie to yourself. I don't care who you are. You cannot lie. And I tell people all the time, start off with the simplest phrase. Just look in the mirror and go, I love you. Become your own best friend. Learn to love yourself in a way that you'll treat yourself, in a way that like you want to be treated. And then after you learn to love that person, you can learn to love other people, because you can't love another person if you don't know how to love yourself.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Well, we talk about this literally at least once a day live, you know, just like you said, the self-appreciation in the mirror, the realization that I have got to change my life, you know, strong wives supporting us. Like it, that's what I was when I heard you and I started seeing interviews from you about a year ago. I was like, this guy is like-minded, like pretty much every good person out there. I just think that you're a threat to the I mean, I think you're a threat to the industry, because if it starts, if people like you start growing in popularity, and people are like, it's okay to think substance abuse is bad, it's okay to look at myself like, it's not about partying, it's not about drinking, it's not about this, it's not about sex, it's about, you know, that and the other hard topics that you conquer primarily. You know, I think if it got out there and it became counterculture, became real culture, they'd be in trouble.
Thank you. It's kind of nice to know that could be a possibility for my future. I like, you got to understand, it's hard enough to make it here. And I'm lucky because I got famous before YouTube, before Facebook, before MySpace. All that happened to me before. So like, I've got this built-in fandom that's amazing, but we're underground. And George Carlin said it best. There's a club and I'm not invited. Like, I'm not.
Yes.
Dude, we fucking A, man. You're talking to the right people.
And you know, it's like, and that's all right, because like I told you on the phone the other day, it's like, I'm taken care of as long as I speak the truth and I speak the message. Yeah. And I write for people that are in the dark spots. I write for people that are broken. I write for people that are lost. And when they find me, they're the most beautiful people I've ever met. Like my fan base are some of the, like, they have been through some of the worst situations you could ever imagine. And, but they know that they're in a family here.
That resonates. God, that resonates.
We're the same. Like, everybody knows. Anybody can walk up to me at any one of my shows and they can give me a hug. They can ask for a hug. They can say hello. And I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, like I'm not that guy. I'm not. And I know that, and I can see it on people's faces. I remember the first time we made the Save a Kid shirt. Save a Kid, this young lady came up to me and she goes, "Can I have your shirt?" Because I only had one. I wasn't making them. They wasn't at the merch or anything. And I was like, "Why?" She goes, "I want to give this to my attacker. I want to wear this when I confront him." I took my shirt right there. I was like, "You have that."
Yeah.
I was like, "You have that," because it said "Save a Kid, Kill a Pedophile," and she was going after him the next day. And
all right, so this is a Killer's Confession merch store. I think on the this is one of yours. You can get it from your record label's store too, right?
Yeah, you get the record from the record label. All the Save a Kid and the Pain shirts, like that, all that's us. Every order comes through the shop. My wife and myself handle. Like, and that's the thing that they really realize is like I wonder if I ever meet him, and you're not realizing you just ordered a shirt from us, and I packed it up.
That's actually kind of funny. That's people don't realize that, you know, it's small business. I mean, your business can be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It's still a small business until, you know, and we pack all of our own orders.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I just think it's fucking crazy and awesome that you go to a show and you can get merch like this. Do you know how many, like, because we could sell stickers like this, like our YouTube channel, our t-shirt companies, all the companies that we have as collectively between us all, we could sell stuff like this and no one would really bat an eye. They'd be like, oh, that's kind of makes sense with them. But I just think it and I'm assuming people like buying that stuff.
Oh, we went out with Static X and Guar, and
and there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
We went out with them, and like I don't talk on stage. I don't preach. I let the music speak for itself. We have a song called Purpose, and we usually come out to it. And I just like stop and let the crowd, and the song's Purpose because I've been given a purpose to talk about this stuff, and that's what the kind of the meaning is. And I just got at the end of it, it's like, we're a Killer's Confession, and we stand for one thing: save a kid, kill a pedophile. And the line starts. The whole place erupts every night because people realize, and then they meet us and they talk to us and they're like, wow, it's not just a thing for you. You really mean what you're saying. And I say it. We say what we mean what we say. And, you know, it's like, and people come to it. Then, you know, I have the naysayers, like people go, oh, he's hiding something. I'm like, well, go check my background. You know, I don't care. You know, so when you have nothing to hide, nothing to hide.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
really
you're not
think
saying anything that I know that these two fucking cops haven't thought or had conversations about.
I have more cop badges, like cards. Like if you get in trouble here in Chicago, call me. Like
Yeah.
And I've got so many of those, and I'm like, I appreciate that. But I
could have used that 20 years ago, but not now.
I could have used it, but I'm not going to get in trouble. Like the worst thing that you're going to get me, you might get me for a speeding ticket, which I doubt because I'm old. I'm driving a huge 34-foot RV with a trailer. I'm going slow. So like I'm not really about that life. But I get the Secret Services showed up and thanked me, and that was awesome. That was awesome.
So you're going on tour in about a month, right?
Yeah, dude, you're going to be here.
No, yeah, we're going to the Orlando show March 1st, but he's hitting Wilmington.
Fort Pierce is 10 minutes away from me.
Dude, I live in Tampa.
Well, come on.
Yeah,
if
you guys got to. Yeah, we'll go to all three.
Out.
Man, you guys are hitting all kinds of crazy.
Any one of my shows, I'll take care of everything for you guys.
Man, that is. You guys are. So you were on an RV. Sorry, I don't have enough experience to move that to the side. Put it in front of all of our faces.
Justin, where's Justin?
I can back that thing into the needle of an eye of a needle.
Does everybody touring with you sleep in there as well, or
Yes.
go traveling there?
Mm-hmm. We only travel as a band. We don't bring any crew. We do it ourselves.
Really, that's awesome.
My wife runs merch. I drive. The guys set it up. Then I come up for sound because I'll drive all night. Like I'm not only the owner and singer and writer of Killer's Confession, I'm a bus driver. I will sit there all night with a cup of coffee, and here's the secret. Everybody's like, "How you do it?" I'm like, "I listen to Harry Potter audiobooks."
To stay awake?
Yeah, I stay awake. I listen to Harry Potter audiobooks. That's my thing. I love it. It is one of the small. Like I've had band members be like, "Well, where are we going tonight?" Because they'll be falling asleep. They're like, "Man, this is like story time from kindergarten." Everybody's sitting around the teacher on the carpet with their in Indian style. Listening.
Yeah, it's supposed to. You guys are supposed to be sleeping right now, dude.
We're all listening to Harry Potter.
What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we will get into the more controversial things that should not be controversial. They should be common sense. 99.9% of the people in the world should agree with all of this, but yet for some reason people are afraid to say it. However, Waylon, you are not.
Nope.
So we will be right back in about 2.5 minutes. Once I get
over a century ago in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, re-engineered medical education from a holistic, whole-body approach, which appropriately treated the body as an interconnected system, to a compartmentalized approach under the guise of specialized medicine. They shut down or consolidated medical schools, marginalized naturopathic, homeopathic, and chiropractic medicine, replacing them with symptom management and synthetic drugs. Allopathy is a marketing strategy rooted in fear and manipulated science. This philosophy carried into veterinary medicine, resulting in over-vaccination, unnecessary surgeries, and manufactured food, just like they did for people. They call it care, but it's predatory and based in profitability. The truth? Toxicity, compromised immunity, and chronic inflammation. They're not fate. They're engineered. And so is your power to undo them. We built 3 targeted formulas to return the body to homeostasis, for pets and people, to detox, defend, and restore. We are the correction to decades of corruption. We are vengeance.
my coffee's not
Okay.
nuclear hot, so
Can you guys hear me okay now?
yeah, we can hear you. We lost you for a couple seconds.
Yeah, if I don't talk for a while, this mic goes, "Oh, I'm not being used. I'm going to turn myself off."
That's what I do. I just turn myself
Well,
off.
sometimes I'll lose all audio, and then you guys are all having a conversation. And I'm like, hey guys.
Sorry about that, guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
I had to run to the bathroom.
I tell everybody that's the time to use the bathroom. These guys are going to power through it. We'll see if they make it.
Oh, no. I'm too old for that. We're not going to have an accident today. No accident.
Like, Mike, I've been a rock and roller for way too long, man.
Oh, my God.
You guys have a no number 2 rule on the RV?
Yeah, no number 2. And like, that's the worst thing in the world to happen. And it's happened. Like, it has happened. Like, I've been on the road in the middle of Utah and there's nowhere to stop, you know, and you're like, oh,
guess who, at the end or mid or halfway, whatever, guess who's cleaning that?
I am.
Yeah.
It's bad enough trying to pee in that damn thing going down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you right now, Tank, he goes
hold
road.
on.
The dog, he is the road dog. He goes Tank. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's a puppy, and we used to have a Sprinter van that was bunked out, and he crawled up on my guitarist one night and dropped a Cleveland steamer straight on his chest while he was sleeping.
That's awesome.
But the funniest thing to ever happen, because Tank was still a puppy and we were still training. He doesn't have accidents now, but the one accident he had on that bus, he laid it on my guitarist, and my bass player looked and he told Joe dirty. He goes, I'm looking at this whole situation. It's like 3 a.m. and he goes, I can only think of one thing. I got the poo on me.
I got the poo from Joe Dirt.
Yes.
I got the poo on me.
I got the poo on me.
I got the poo on me.
And everybody loves Tank, but man, my guitarist, he at that time was like, I'm gonna have to look at you a little bit differently now. We're not friends.
Different relationship. All right, so yes, getting into it. I mean, I could talk about this for days. I don't. It's like you said. I have to look at you differently if you tell me that. And when I say you, I don't mean any of you. I mean if I'm talking to somebody and they tell me they don't agree with your message, I would have to look at them with a microscope. I would have to be like, what kind of a human being are you?
1,000%.
It's a shame too, because everybody's like, why such an ugly message? And I'm like, well, it's an ugly situation. And the only way that you can draw true attention to it is by saying something equally or greater. That's equally or greater, uglier. You know, it's like a meaner message to draw attention to it.
But here's the thing. Your message, I mean, a lot of people will be like, well, you know, you can't do that. That's violence. And it's like, well, isn't the act violent?
Yes.
Well, don't we have to react to violence with greater violence to stop it? Isn't that the way the world works?
Unfortunately, that is a very, very evil violence that cannot be tolerated, cannot be negotiated with. And
there's no cure for it. Like they're dead pedos don't reoffend. Like that, but like one that goes.
I love that. Put that on a shirt, bro.
Oh, he's got a whole merch store full of it.
I'm gonna buy some.
Thank you.
I put the link to the merch store in a pinned comment, so you guys can go buy some merch.
Here's the truth of it. You know that they go in there. There's no rehabilitation. There's none of that, and they're gonna go out there and they're still gonna be attracted. There's something mentally wrong with these people, because if you can look at a baby and be attracted, that something is wrong with you. You are not like the rest of us, and you know you're more or less a stain on the human existence. You know, you don't need to be here because and parents and people, you just need to understand that like little ones can get on your nerves. They can go out there and do dumb stuff. They can mess up your yard, but at the same time they're innocent. Yes. Don't be a part of the reason why they get to keep their innocence, because life's going to catch up to them soon enough, and reality's going to hit, and it's going to get hard, just like it does with the rest of them. But let those little ones have it. Let them stay innocent, and let them have imaginations, and let them have a childhood, because once it happens, that's over.
Why I agree with so much.
We have to heaven.
So much with your messages. I was transferred to the sex offender unit as a deputy once, and I had to go out and do the checks and go out and meet with them. And where your solution to them is much better than the court system is, a lot of time those cases plea out because they don't want to put a 3 or 4 year old girl on the stand and have her drugged to court. So these guys plea out, and you know what happens? They plea out to lesser charges. And then when I used to go check on them, I would read what they did, but they weren't charged accordingly, and they would talk shit and run their mouth like, oh, this was all made up, or this, you know, they would just say the nastiest things. And you're standing there as a cop, and I wanted to break their fucking neck. And I'm looking at these guys like how can you have done what I know you did, but because they didn't want to put a 3-year-old girl in the stand, you got away and got it pled down to another charge, and now you get to walk around amongst us instead of being a predator. You're maybe just an offender, which is less of a charge, and there is no cure. Those guys need to be exterminated. There's no cure for it. It is the most heinous crime you can commit against any person, any victim, and I couldn't agree more with your message.
Thank you. And it's like it's hard. It's like it's hard to like try to justify violence with violence, but like once you're in, you got to understand. Once you're in and you see them get away with it and get 6 months of probation,
yeah, it's crazy.
That's not 6 months is not going to fix what happened to this child. Like it's eye for an eye in this situation. Like I said, they're babies, and and you just took the most purest thing, the only pure thing on this planet is a child's innocence. And if you're willing to take that and just wipe the floor with it, you're not good enough to breathe the air. I'm in the same room with me.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that people don't understand because naturally. And I call them sheep, but I don't mean it. They are the people that exist. They watch the TV. They live in Leave It to Beaverville in their mind. There's no wrong in the world, and they might know it, but they're never going to accept it or anything. And they couldn't fathom that someone could do that to a baby.
No,
they're like, what? And you're like, yes.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you, Tyler. I don't think it's that they can't fathom. It's that they don't want to imagine that. They just don't want to.
But when you tell someone this case, like the singer for that band that was just recently, I think he got killed in prison.
He got killed.
What's his name? Lost Prophets.
Lost Prophets. Good.
Ian Watkins.
What happened? He was the most disgusting thing ever. And
metal culture was covering it. It's not. I don't think metal cultures typically run through that rigor, like that ringer of wow, and people were like, "Dude, babies, babies,
like 6 months old. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, dude, lobotomize this man and castrate him."
And when you talk PTSD and stuff for, we talk about that in law enforcement, those are the ones I can't forget. Any of those cases I went to, any of those situations and had to go listen to. You don't forget what some evil human being did to a child. It never goes out of your head. The thought of it, the way you want to just strangle that person in front of you is like, you have to control yourself. And those calls never leave your head. And it is a terrible act. And
I'll tell you the truth. During that time, me and Tequila became a very, very, very good friends. Like I'd have to go home because I'd get paid. First thing that happened, I'd get paperwork and I'd have to read this paperwork because A, I needed to know what happened to the child. B, I need to know what triggered this child. And most time, and they were female. So like I'm a male. So like I'm in a more awkward position because they're scared of me, and I'd read it and just like the stuff I would read and the stuff they would open up and when they would get comfortable enough to talk to me about it. And they would, because like I became more of a father figure because I realized real quick what these children need was love. They didn't need science. They needed a human to actually care about them. That was like the missing element with all of them was love. And love is a very, very, very powerful, powerful thing. And they would open up to me and tell me. And when I'd go home at night and drink a fifth just to go to sleep because nightmares, because like I would relive it through their shoes. Like once you there's no horror movie that's that scary.
No, it's no,
terrible. And you're right. The trust, they have to have trust in order to get the love. They're not going to open up to the love until they can have the trust.
Love and it's the easiest thing to do. Love is natural. Empathy is natural. Like just have it. Like understand that you are not the center of the universe.
Well, here's the thing though, Waylon. The people that do this stuff, they predate on that and they survive because of the very thing that you're talking about. We have empathy. We want to be empathetic. We want to try and understand and to be forgiving. But we have to, as a society, draw a line and go, hey man, if you cross this line, it's fucking death. No question about it. Get the wood chipper.
Yeah, yes. Get the wood chippers right, because like there's never going, like it's a cycle. Predators harm a victim, and a lot of the time the victim becomes the predator. It's just a vicious cycle, and you have to stop it at some point.
It's uncurable. It's uncurable.
It's uncurable.
Yeah, it's uncurable. Yeah.
And if I feel like if there's executions, and if there is like if they start seeing that there's going to be no tolerance, you're not going to sit in prison on taxpayer dime and have, if there's 100% you're guilty DNA evidence. No, you don't get, you go straight outside and 22-cent bullet, like 22 cents. Like, it's not even.
Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more.
You know, it's like, and once they see that, they might be like, you know, like try to pull off their addiction, because it is an addiction. They're addicted to what they're doing, and maybe it can like do something to where we can get a hold on it, because like it's just something that's never going to go away.
So have you engaged with the other side that is, you know, minor attracted persons and all of that shit? Have you engaged with those fucking people?
Bats for maps. That's all I got to say. Bats for maps. Bats for maps.
I just wanted to, I mean, like, have you ever been like, you know, like in a room talking to this person, they genuinely believe this, and be like, bro, I genuinely believe you need to go into a fucking wood chipper.
I'm not going to be in that long room very long.
How would you be? I would never naturally.
People kind of like straight, like I've had a couple predators approach me. I was on this last tour I was on with Dogma, and I was driving in the middle of the night, and a trucker cuts me off. Like I'm trying to go into a gas station to fill up. You know, I was going into a Love's, and I was coming off, and we were in PA, I think, or Jersey. We were somewhere in the Northeast, and I pull off, and this trucker, I mean, seriously, like about runs me off the road, almost runs me off the road, and wakes my wife up. My wife's in the bed sleeping. And I pull over and I fill up in gas, and she's like, she knows something happened, because like I don't drive erratically. Like everybody gets to sleep while I'm driving. You either listen to Harry Potter and you sleep. Like that's what it goes down to. I get out and I fill up, and this older gentleman, I won't even call him a gentleman because I don't think he was that. He comes up and he goes, "That's a mighty bold statement on the back of your trailer," because it says it straight on the back of my trailer. You'll find
no way. You have it on the trailer?
Oh yeah, I get people honking, thumbs up, metal horns. You like people like we're driving down the street. We're saying what we say every day. It says right on the back of my trailer, "Save a kid, kill a pedophile," straight on the back. He comes up and he was like, "That's a mighty bold statement on the back of your trailer." And I looked at him and I was just like, "Oh, this is going to go two ways." You know, like I knew. I was like, and we mean every fucking word. And I took a step towards him and he took a step back. I knew at that moment what I was dealing with. I said, "You got a problem with it?" And I took another step, and he took another step back. And this is the guy that had tried to run me off the road. And I was just like, I was just like, "Come get it." You know, it's like, test me. I'm sorry. I'll say it. I'll take my 3 hots in a cot. You know, I'll take out. I don't care. You know, it's like, I know I'll be doing the world a favor.
Man, that's crazy. So when I was listening to the story, I thought for some reason it was like accidental that he cut you off because he was a shitty driver, but he was looking for that smoke.
Mm-hmm. He was looking for that smoke, and I think that he just thought that maybe that I was somebody that likes to run my mouth. Question me. I've got grandchildren. I've got daughters. Touch one of them. I dare you. I don't like me and the Lord will deal with that in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And you said something, you were like, you know, it is like people are like, "How can you say that?" And you're like, "Yeah, we're going a little bit extreme," but you can't just sit there and say, pedophilia is bad. That's not harsh enough. It is not harsh enough. And you spoke, when we talked briefly, you were like, you know, I'm not saying false accusations. We're talking convictions. And the beautiful thing about law enforcement is that sexual offenses, because there's always no DNA, because the victims don't always say something right away. Mike will probably know a little bit more about this. He was in investigations for like 2 decades, but you can. I'm not trying to aid you, dude. I'm
He
saying
works
you know
the
more.
first pedophile case, the very first pedophile case in the
first
United
one in
States. Mike
history.
Maloney.
But they can use cases as evidence of, you could, if you've got 3 people saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, if you got 3 people saying this guy did this, that's actually be able to use as like, if you committed a burglary, you couldn't use an accusation from 5 years ago to say you probably burglarized this place. That's not, but in courts they allow, due to the lack of DNA and lack of evidence, they allow.
Yeah, they'll put them together. I've worked some cases with that where similar, where grandfather, should be shot in the head, but molest a grandchild, and it happens over like 2-3 summers, and then they put they finally come forward. There's no physical evidence, but they allow that. They can, they use like, we can confirm that they stayed at the grandparents' house that weekend. There was an incident where the child remembered a specific something that happened. So it allows them to corroborate the story and become evidence where it's not hearsay. It's actually allowed into court because it's verified. Because most of these cases, you're right, there's no DNA. Most victims don't come forward the first time something happens. They're confused. They're distraught. Their life has been flipped upside down. They don't understand why a person that supposedly cares about them has done this terrible thing to them. And it goes on, unfortunately, for a long time. So they do allow some other ways to present evidence in these cases.
Yeah, it's just sad that we have to have teams that do this.
Yep.
Like, let's just be honest here. Like, I don't know where it started. I wish it could end, but it's sorry that like people are afraid to come forward, like when it's happened to them. Mm-hmm. And here's the scary part: they're children. They're scared of the boogeyman under their bed. And I meet kids all the time, and with the mask, and that's the last thing I ever want to do is scare a child. Like I do not want you to have nightmares over what I do. And one kid came to the show, and he knew the music, and because if you listen to the music and then you see it, it's 2 different things. Like, the music is what it is, but when you see it, it's like, oh no. And I could see the terror in this child's face. And this just tells you how I feel about it. I was like, nope, you are not going to have nightmares till you're 13 about this mask. And he probably 5 or 6 years old, front row, singing the words and terrified to look at me. And so I took the mask and I pulled it up. I just went, boo, and pulled it back. I have never seen a bigger smile on that child's face. And that child comes to the merch booth, and Lord, my wife has to hold me back because I will give them everything. Like, what do you want? I'm Santa at this point. And the child looks at me and he goes, I figured you out. And I'm like, you did? And he goes, you're the boogeyman's boogeyman.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Boogeyman's boogeyman.
I'm the boogeyman's boogey. It sets with me, but with that there, most children have irrational fears. Their fear is irrational because they the monsters and stuff like that. But when they have a predator, they have a real monster. And if they have, they prey on that fear of that child never telling because they're going to do this, and they get that irrational. Like, if I do this, he's going to hurt my parents, or he's going to hurt my brother, hurt my sister.
Well, it's. I mean, we all know it's very, very typically it's someone very close to the child that has access.
God, it blows my mind because I just became a grandparent last year, and my little grandbaby, he is the sweetest, most innocent. I forgot, because I had my children young, so like I was still a baby when I had babies, and now that I'm in my older years, I'm not old yet, but I'm in I'm getting there. I pick him up, and he's just the most precious thing in the world. And I look at him, and I'm like, and I think about what I do and what I say, and I look at him, and I'm just like, how could anybody ever hurt something like this? You are the sweetest thing in the world.
The other problem too is that even some of the victims will come forward to other family members or to their parents, and the parents will be like, no, stop, because it's their brother or their half brother or their whatever. I mean that's also part of the problem too. So what's your take on that?
They both go in the wood chipper.
Yeah. I have no toleration for it. I don't care who you are. I don't care I don't care what's your stance in life, who you are to me, what anything. If a child comes and says something like this right here, we're gonna be looking into it, and we're gonna find out the truth, because it don't matter who you are. I don't care.
Hard, dude. And kids that are exploited like that are very, very quickly will turn into offenders themselves at very young ages. So they're sexually molesting kids younger than them, that they are able to, you can call it unconsciously or not really know, but they're able to be a predator to someone smaller than them.
Yes.
And that's that cycle. And we all talked about, you lock up, like really lock up or kill, depending on how you look at it. You take away an offender off the street, you statistically save 6 children that guy would have in his lifetime molested.
Exactly. And you talk about, like, they hurt children younger than them in the facility. We'd had that happening all the time.
Yeah.
Well, then there's the other thing that happens too, Waylon, and that's where somebody that had this happen to them goes in the opposite direction and tries to become Batman and tries to make themselves bigger and stronger and do everything that they need to do to be a person that protects other people. There is the opposite to that too.
Yeah. And you're right, but 95% of the time, those kids would do it to younger kids in the facility.
Yeah.
Like they would prey on the weak and the ones that were smaller, and we would have to deal with that at night, like during the act. Like these are things I cannot forget. When you see a child raping a child because they were raped.
Yeah.
These are the things I have nightmares about.
Yeah, and it creates it's an ongoing problem. That's why, like you said, getting rid of the source. If enough sources get eliminated, there won't be child victims to be then a victim, an aggressor on another child. You have to stop it somewhere, and there is no rehabilitation. There is no coming back from it. There is no place you can go to undo your brain when you have this capability inside you. It's not fixable. It's death. It's death. I agree. Well, I couldn't agree on anything more on earth than that is death. It has to be.
They here in Florida, they try to make them all live with each other. And
in that community, that trailer park.
Yeah,
I've heard about that. I lived in
firebomb that motherfucker.
I lived in Cape Coral for a while during COVID, so like I had my, but I like Florida's stance on that. I think that you have some amazing police officers down there. You know that they don't have tolerance for any of that, but they definitely. I've read about that community that it's all predators. And it's just like, man, somebody just going there with a Molotov and just
nobody realize how many and how much how bad. Like I just
looked
insane.
It up. Oh my God, crazy. It's insane.
It's amazing.
My county has 130,000 people, 130, 140,000 people. There's 211 sex offenders in this county. 211. I mean, that's 15 for every 10,000 people is a sex offender. Sounds small, but when the victims are children, that's huge. It's huge. And that's just reported, documented, and arrested.
So that's 1.5%. Let's be real about what you just said. That's the math. 1.5% of the population. Now, based on what you're saying, the empirical evidence suggests that it is getting bigger because we're allowing it to continue.
Yes.
So what will it be in 10 or 15 or 20 years? Yeah.
Because they've always been there. They've always been that small fraction. But when we were kids running around, they were shunned to know that that's wrong. Like if I go out and I talk to kids, there's going to be 12 fucking adults out here going, why are you talking to this kid? Like, is it your kid? Do you know these kids? And now in today's world, we're calling them minor attracted people. We're allowing them to come out now. So it's not like there's more of them. There's the same amount, I would think, per capita of regular people, but now they're not shamed anymore. The least we could do is shame them and threaten them with, death sentences, lifetime in prison, something. But we're
to Waylon's point, and Waylon, correct me if I'm wrong here. You're basically saying like threats are not enough.
No.
Like threats aren't enough. It has to be backed up with action. Like we've got to get to the point where we as a society, not vigilanteism, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but we as a society go, we're not going to fucking put up with this, and we're going to deal with it violently and rapidly.
There, you just stated my exact point. I am not telling anybody to be a vigilante. I'm not telling anybody to go out and do this themselves.
Absolutely.
I want us as people to come together with our lawmakers. Yes. I want and make this law, because if we put fear in them through law, like we're going to do this, and this is the punishment. It does not change. Once you're convicted, this is the punishment. You're done. That will change, because that's what it really boils down to, because you cannot put it on a person to take and do such a horrible act. And like, then they have to carry the burden of what they did. Yeah. They became a monster to be, to attack monsters.
Cook Mike.
Yeah. And here's the things. Here's the silly things that go on the ballot. We got marijuana. Does the society want marijuana? Does society want sports gambling? Why don't we put does society want to kill pedophiles the second they're convicted? I bet you'd have about a 95% pass rate on that law. And then we could easily say, it's not lawmakers that made that law. It's not just an idea. The people of the state of X were polled and voted that this is the outcome. Put that on the fucking books. Put that law on the books right away and say 95% of the state, whatever it is, voted yes. And then start axing them. You're convicted. You walk right out of the fucking courtroom and off you go.
Yeah.
Simple.
See, but
Simple.
Here's the problem, though. Is
12.
Oh, I'm sorry, Waylon. Go ahead.
Anybody under 12 can get the death penalty now for
they can, but it's just drawn. You know how it goes, man. It's 25 years till they go.
I know it should be.
There's so much obfuscation when it comes to this crap.
There it is.
There's the word of the day.
There it is.
I didn't know, guys. I thought you would know what obfuscation means. What's it mean?
Obfuscation. It means they're purposely obscuring the subject. Okay. So there's so much when you if we go with Mike's point of view, like, okay, so we take Waylon's thought process, which we all fucking think, by the way, and we go, okay, we're going to put this on the fucking ballot here in Florida. There's going to be so many people trying to go, well, you know, the criminal justice system isn't good, and you know, it would have to be this, and do you really just want to kill people? And I'm like, yeah, I want them fucking dead. I want them dead now. I want to protect my kids from them. I want the state to do it when they're convicted, so I don't have to do it when the dude's in my fucking 11-year-old daughter's bedroom. That's what I fucking want. Do that. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. That's the thing. You should not have to apologize by feeling that you want to protect your child. You shouldn't feel sorry. You shouldn't be fearful that you're going to get a letter saying that you are promoting hate speech. That you shouldn't be scared that you know, because you took up the armor and want to protect children, that you're going to be canceled and you're not going to be making a living for your family. You shouldn't have that fear. And that's the problem. They are taking away our First Amendment right by making you afraid to speak.
Especially on something that's so
fucking common sense.
So simple. Yeah, it's so simple. It's so simple. It's not drugs and you know, they could have broken.
You're right. You're right. It's not
simple.
even most of the political shit everybody argues about. There's always two sides to everything, two mindsets.
There's no side. Yeah, there's no side to this one. There's only
one thing that everybody should be like, yes, protect the most innocent thing closest to God you can.
It's the purest. They are the purest thing on the planet. Them and puppies and kittens. Yep. You know, it's the truth.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we got a whole fucking series of movies about somebody killed some fucking former assassin's puppy dog, and he went on a fucking murder spree, and we were all like, yeah, that fucking makes sense. But
yeah, we can get behind it for John Wick, but we can't get behind it for kids.
John Wick's a good movie.
Yeah, don't kill his dog. Don't kill his dog, man.
But that's the thing. It's like, that's what when we speak that's the real meaning behind it. Is like, get this to the highest level of law, where, you know, it is handled in a way, because nobody should be a vigilante. Nobody should have that burden of like, I have to do what a society won't do in a whole. You know, it's like, this is a societal thing. You know, this is a moral standpoint. You stand here and you don't budge, be like, this is off limits. You know, they say spare the rod, spoil the child. Well, this is the time we don't spare the damn rod. You know, the rod's got to come down hard. It's got to come down fast. And they got to know, like, there are severe consequences for crossing this line.
But like you said, okay.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like you said, though, when we have to make sure, though, when we take this extreme measure, that the court system obviously is flawless when it comes to this at the end. We can't have, all right, I'm going to set this guy up.
You got to get the 4-year-old on the stand.
It's got to be, it's got to be like, hey, this is going to be a unique type of trial and situation because the outcome is going to be the end of someone's life.
Yes.
And there has to be streamlined and processed in the right way that makes sure that, like you mentioned, DNA. If it's DNA, you're done. I don't care what anybody says. DNA, you're done. Off you go. If it's not, if it's circumstantial evidence and it has to be done more thoroughly or in a different type of investigation, we have to make sure we get it right. But it doesn't take 25 years of appeals to get that right. It takes about a good 6 months of like making sure, double check, triple check, go on in, buddy, off you go. You're dead. So it definitely has to be done right. It's just not bang dead, but I mean, it can be done.
Here's the thing, Mike. I mean, and there is no precedence for this in our legal system, but there is precedence for it within the academic community. If I write a paper about the Spartans, for example, I get that reviewed by my peers. So you could have a court case where we go, hey, here's the evidence. Here's the trial of the peers. Okay, cool. Hey, let's hand this off. We're going to basically play the same thing for 3 other people. We're not going to add anything. It's literally going to be, hey, this week it's this jury. The next week it's this jury. The next week it's this jury. We play it up there. Same judge. Bang. And we go, okay, 3 times, 3 different juries, same fucking outcome. Off you go to the wood chipper, motherfucker. Off you fucking go. And then we fucking televise it. That's my opinion.
That's the key. That's that shaming that's that public shaming that we have to do. You know, hey.
Heather brings a good point there about the fact that we have vigilante groups. Heather makes a lot of sense. There's vigilante groups out there on YouTube and on that are doing this instead of cops. And you'll see a lot of those vigilante guys get turned away by the cops when they have the evidence in their possession and say, hey, this dude's here to meet a 15-year-old kid. And the cops are like, oh, God, that sounds like a lot of work.
I mean, JD DeLay talks about this all the time.
JD's good. He's good people. Like, I watch him from the and everybody's like, why don't you team up with? I don't team up with anybody. You know, that's the first thing. But I'll watch from the sidelines, being like, you're doing good work here. You're doing really good work. Because he's straight up about it. Because like we could take guys like that are in prison already. Okay, like take the meanest, the baddest, the ones that are never getting out. We build a couple rooms or built like a Sheridan. Be like, all right, once a week you're going to go into the pit and we're going to release every predator.
I mean, Colt says feed them to the gators. I disagree with that because I don't want gators getting a taste for human flesh because then they'll become kind of aggressive.
Small puppies.
Well, yeah, Jimmy's looking at it literally. That is not a good tactic to get rid of them.
But you take the meanest, you're never getting out, and be like, you're never getting out. But you're going to do a public service once a week, and we make a gladiator thing where they go into but make Thunderdome and televise it and be like, all right, we'll send you to prison. We're going to feed you to these guys, and they're the
I saw a really great meme where it was like, hey, we'll let illegal aliens stay if they will, but they have to be in a Thunderdome against pedophiles. We'll call it Aliens versus Predators.
Oh my god. Oh, I missed that one. That's funny.
It all fun and all. I mean, there's so many ideas of what we could do, but in reality, we have to put this into law. And that's the thing. We live in America. We live in the land of the free, the home of the brave. But everything we do is governed under our laws, and we're, as a society, we got to abide by them laws to have a functional society. This is one of those situations. This must go through that and go through that process to where we have this and make it so watertight, like there's no way slipping through it, But like you said, there's so many like appeals and stuff like that. It has to be done right. And it's going to be the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's the right thing to do. And anything hard in this world to do, right in this world to do is hard. It's going to be a hard situation. It's going to be hard to accomplish.
it gets very, very muddy because the way, I mean, listen, all of our grandfathers, the things they said about what we call the LGBTQ community, right? We're all pretty much,
The fucking alphabet people.
We're fine with it. It doesn't bother us. We're like, hey, you know, do your thing. But the things they said about them, so then you get then you you go from there to the transgender community, right? And that's where everybody's getting like, hey, we're getting split down the middle on that one. Hey, you know, you get them, you know, bathrooms for everybody. Then you're like, what if my fucking daughter's in there and some guy thinks that he's a chick, wants to go use the bathroom, and then half the world's telling you, well, then you have to accept that. And here's where the pedophiles slide in. They somehow have managed to get their way. What do they call that? Piggybacking in the door real quick before the bouncer can close it. So now we're calling them, when I say we're, not us, but society has now made them minor attracted children. And
minor attracted people,
they're being put under that. And it's so fucking crazy. And I think that's why people feel obligated to be like, well, you can't say that about them. Like, yes, you can.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, you got to understand, sticks and stones, people. I have freedom of speech. You better be willing to take it, because I got to be willing to take whatever it comes.
No, Waylon, you don't have love in your heart for these people who already had bad things happen to them, and you just need to understand them better. And if you were a more loving person, I'm being Tyler right now.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, we're in America. As long as you are an adult, I'll accept you for anything you are, because you're an American. You are an American. It is your freedom to be and live your best life, what makes you happy, the pursuit of happiness. I'll fight for you for that. But if you're under 18, leave them alone. Leave them children alone. If you want to be weird and get weird in your adult life, as long as you don't hurt children, that's okay. What you do behind the closed doors is your business. It's none of mine.
Yep.
But the fact is...
And to be clear, you're not talking about the 18-year-old that's dating his 17-year-old high school sweetheart.
That is the worst. That is the worst predator known to man. His mama got mad, and they started dating when he was 15 and she was 13, and then 18.
You know what unfortunately, you know what I've seen, and this is where I fault the prosecutors. They'll jump all over those cases
because they're easy.
Smash some poor 18-year-old kid who the girl lied about her age and she's really 16 instead of 17, and just watch them go over the top on some bullshit case like that, instead of having some type of task force that targets the real criminals. And
because those aren't the real
layups. They take the layup. Yep, they take the layups, and
you get a score to them. Hey, we just incarcerated a child predator.
Yeah, bullshit.
We got one, and it's like, that was the wrong guy, dude. That was just an easy layup you took instead of actually working to get the real child predator.
Happens all the time.
Let's be honest here. An 18-year-old young man, that's not a man. That's still a child. Like you're still growing up to your 25. Like when I was 25, I was
35.
It took me to 40 to be a grown up, you know. But in reality, an 18-year-old is just a child still. Like, that's still a child. Like, and you know, they got a 17-year-old girlfriend, and mom and dad wasn't having it.
Yep, I've seen it happen many times, and it's the worst to watch this poor kid go down.
Yeah,
and then knowing we have real criminals and real predators in the county, and it's like, well, that might be too difficult to that case, or this is going to take a lot of work. And it's like, fuck these guys, man. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame that we don't go after that. It sounds cool, and they use the buzzwords, and all the agencies do, but it's still under investigated and under prosecuted.
Yes, it is. But this is the hard part about it. It's a fight that, you know, I've just used my platform to bring awareness. And I'll be honest with you, but it's a start. It's going to be a long process because of lawmakers and people fighting it, but it's got to be taken more seriously. Like, let's just boil it down. This is something that has to be addressed, no matter how. And I think people don't address it because of how ugly it is. Like, nobody wants to have a hearing about this because
it's really hard to have this kind of conversation in the you know, city council meeting with all the fucking buttoned up Karens that should be at PTA meetings and be like, we need to fucking talk about the fucking child predator laws and how we're going to fucking deal with this. And they're going to be like, well, we would really like to talk about how we can get, you know, the timeout booths in the school. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I want to kill pedophiles. That's what I want.
It's like, do I physically want to do it? Yes, but I think but it has to be done in a certain way. And
Right.
it has
The
to be
tribe
done
has-
correctly.
The tribe has to get together and develop the contract of how would we punish the most heinous crime imaginable, someone that committed the most heinous crime imaginable. And that's what has to be done. You look at biblical times, they killed everybody because they didn't have the argument is they didn't have the ability to incarcerate people. So it's like, you can't be amongst us. So this is our only option. Now that in modern days we have incarceration, yeah, a logical person could sit there and argue, absolutely. It might not be death penalty. That's their opinion, but the common theme should be, but yes, definitely out of our society. So they need to be incarcerated for life, not in a home or a community where they can sit there and plan with like-minded men and go, hey, you want to know how I did it last week and didn't get caught? Here's 27 people taking notes because they all live with each other.
Yeah, chemical castration would be a good start too. Let's take the ability away. Like let's just turn them all to units.
I don't think it's a strong enough deterrent.
Well, yeah, it's not. But like they'd be a definite start. Take away their weapon.
Well, I mean, if we want to go biblical on this, a daughter that's still in my home biblically falls under my protection, which means any crime done to her was basically done to me, which means that under the law, I have the right to mete out justice to the person that did that. So in my opinion, it should be, if you want to go biblical on it, it should be, oh, we proved you raped that guy's daughter. He gets to fucking kill you with a sword. That's how that's going down.
Ooh. Who was the dad that did that? Like his son.
We were talking about it in the chat. I can't remember.
Yeah. At the phone booth.
I've seen a video of it last night. Funny enough, like it pops up, like all this stuff pops up on my videos. He's sitting there on the phone. He turns around, boom. Done. He didn't.
And guess what he got? What did he get? Like 6 months probation?
Yep.
That was when we were right in society at that point. Even a judge was
he wasn't playing.
Today he'd get 20 to life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Cain Velasquez, the UFC fighter, got like 5 years for shooting at the person that freaking
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, Velasquez. Yeah, the MMA fighter. He's in prison. Yeah.
God bless him. I hope that when he gets out.
Trump's talking about trying to get him out, and
I hope he's blessed every day for the rest of his life. I hope that everything goes right, every decision's right, and he is blessed every day. But for to take up the mantle and do that, I hope Cain is just like he gets out and everything goes right for him. I do because in a lot of those situations they get out and they hit on hard times, because like they do have a charge and it's violent, and but like people don't really realize like. Look what they see a violent offender, but look what he did.
I can tell you for a fact that he'll be welcomed in the trades. Construction workers, they'll love him.
Oh yes, but you know what I mean. I pray for him to be blessed every day. Because, like he took up the mantle. He said, nope, not my family. You're not doing this.
That's an interesting point you make, Waylon. You've talked about the Lord. You've talked about the mantle several times. Where does your faith stand on this?
Where's my faith stand on this? My faith tells me to speak on it. My faith tells me to speak on
amen.
it. And my faith also says this is between me and you. When we'll discuss this when you get home.
Yeah, roger that.
Yeah, you've taken your passion and your skill and you've turned it into something that's not about you. That's about another message. That's amazing.
Here's the other part of that too, is that you also have in you've said several times, like, if it was my kid, if it was my grandbaby, I would do this. That's a biblical mantle too, right? You've taken the ownership of the head of the household. It's my job to provide for and protect this household, which means that I have to then also mete out justice to people who have done this, or at the very least, be a proactive protector within the family. Is that fair?
Yes, that's very fair. I told you, I pray for everything. I do. I pray every day. And, my faith, I've always held it close to me. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not. But what I know of between my relationship personally is I just do what he tells me, and he points me in the right direction. And when I'm on the right path, I'm taken care of. That's all I can say on it. That's it. And if I go off of that, if I leave that direction, things aren't as good.
Fair enough. Boy, I've been there.
So let's. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask. So this in your career, I mean, it's your business, it's your career. That's the way our show looks at everything. Is, you know, we break it down, but your band, your business, your career. You know, in what ways do you have any stories or not specifics, but just ways to explain how being outspoken has really impacted them stopping your message?
That's a fantastic question.
I just don't get things. I'm tucked in the algorithm. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm tucked I'm at the bottom of the pile. Like I said, there's a club and I'm not part of it, and that's okay. I don't need to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of an agenda that I don't agree with. And there is an agenda out there that I don't agree with. I want to when I die and I pass on and people find my body of work, that message lives on. That's what this is about. This ain't about me as a person. This is about what I'm saying. This is about protect the children. This is, and it's like, if I don't reach superstardom, oh well, it is what it is. But I left something there that's meaningful, and it's not a fad. It's not gonna through the time the message will stay the same, and it won't be like, well, that's ridiculous. You know, like you come across some stupid hook that is part of today's slang, which I'll call idiocracy. You know, it's like you can't even understand it anymore. But there's some substance there. And even when I'm gone and I'm not doing this anymore, that message still is ironclad and is still a good message. And that's all I'm after. That's all I'm after.
Can we at least put make them wear like little signs that say MAP on them? Like
yes.
make them self-identify.
Make them self-identify. That's the funny part. You know, it's like they'll be the first ones to protest you. They will use you as a mirror and be like, there they are, and they will put blame everywhere else but where it belongs.
You know what you should do is you should. I guess you're not in charge of this part, but I was gonna say, tell the promoter also promote this as a MAP friendly get together, and that's our Thunderdome right there.
Oh, you know what's funny? I can tell
mosh pit go
when there's predators in the crowd.
Really?
Yes, it's very simple. And the guys who work with me will tell you the same. We know as soon as the message starts coming out during the show, because it comes out, it's quiet. It gets kind of weird. Like you just get that, you know, and I tell them, I was like, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, there's a door. You better get out before I find you. And that's the end of it. Like we do not play about that. And like my bass player JP, he's been with me the whole AKC ride. And I'm not going to say the city because I don't want to shame a city in particular. Because of it, but we were in a certain place. We play there all the time, and we did our normal thing. And one night, I was on stage, and I said my spiel about it, and it got weird. You know, it's like you just kind of seen people looking left and right. And, you know, it's like I'm like, all right, which one of you did it? You know, and I said it on stage, and JP is like, oh, it's gonna, and he's like, I hate it when it's like that. You know, it's like when you've got a predator amongst the crowd, and it's like, how dare you even show up? You know, it's like, you know what we're about. You know that you are not welcome here. And it's
you ever called anybody out?
Have I ever called anybody out? No, I've never got them into that position yet. You know, where it's like, you motherfucker. You know, I've never, like, they're smart enough to stay away from me. You know, the closest one.
So it's never been like you're up there playing your song and you look and you're like, dude, you're not vibing with this, bro. You're not vibing with this. I can see it.
I've said, but I just say I tell them to get out, and sometimes you see people exit the room, Like you see
Wow.
that, and
Wow.
the closest one that's come to me would be that trucker. It would be that trucker that would run me off the road, and I stood my ground real quick. I was like, "Oh, here we go, this time," you know. And
You were like, "Thank you, Jesus! I finally got one."
But my wife came up. She's, "What was that about?" She's, "Why did we almost wreck?" I'm like, "No, this dude." And she goes, "I can't believe that just happened." I'm like, "Yeah." And it's like they'll target you, you know, like you get targeted.
Off subject, I like how your wife was like, "You almost wrecked." That's a North Carolina NASCAR thing. We almost wrecked.
You almost wrecked. Well, my wife's from Philly, so she didn't quite like. My wife is a Philly is from Philly, so she has that used guys, and she's got used guys, and but you know, a radiator and stuff like that. Her whole got that accent, but that's me coming speaking for her, but she would never say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you ain't far from Dale.
No, I met Dale when I was little. Dale was the man. I met.
You see Jimmy's face though. Jimmy's Dale Senior's biggest fan. Probably
Dale Senior, Dale Jr.
Number 3. You know where I'm from. Okay, if you're
I know
North Wilkesboro Speedway. I live in Brushy Mountains. I lived right close to Thunder Road.
Yeah,
like where Dale. Oh God. Where I'm from is steeped with, you know, NASCAR. And I'll tell you a little secret about it. My great uncle used to tip off the bootleggers that the FBI was coming.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
But you know, where I'm from too, a lot of that takes place. You know, we have, and they were a family, lived on the mountain, but the tree went one branch, and you know what I'm saying. And I went to school with those children, and their name was, well, I don't want to say their name. That'd be
yeah, the Hills Have Eyes kids.
Yes, very much. Very inbred. You could tell the difference. Slow and very, you know, look like aliens. Like I can't, like, and I'm telling you right now, it's like you can't make this up. And I remember as a child feeling bad for them and not understanding why they were different than us. And I remember social services would come in and remove them from the home, and like they finally disbanded the family because, you know, grandpa was your dad and your brother and your, you know, really like that.
But that's not NASCAR. That's the stereotype of NASCAR. That's not.
It is, but it's the truth. You know, it's like God damn it,
Waylon, you're supposed to be backing me up here, dog.
I can't, man. It's like I had to live it. It's like I did. You know, I love my hometown, and they did the right thing about it. They took care of it. They did. But
I mean, that's all. I mean, it sort of goes to your main point, which is that is also a form of predation.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand. I knew that there was something special about those children. You know, I did. It's like, and I remember being friendly with them. Like, I remember the other kids, because I didn't come from a rich family, but I also came from a super religious. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness, and like, it's like, take what you will from it. And I am not a practicing Jehovah's Witnesses. Please, you know that. But like you know, my mother like you treat everybody good. You walk the path of Jesus. That's what it was. And I remember like other kids that had money and, you know, that had a little bit well-to-do were meaner to these children. But I didn't understand why either. You know, it's like, because I wasn't a spoiled child. I had clothes on my back and food in my belly, but I didn't have a lot. But I remember these kids like holes in their shoes and just as poor as anything, you know, you could imagine. And I remember just being good to them. I remember not understanding why they were the way they were either. I didn't understand why that they were slow and why that they smelled very bad. Like I remember that because their name came before mine. So like, and when you're in elementary school, you know, you get alphabetical order. I was right behind them every day. So lunchtime was hard.
The opinions of this rock star do not reflect that of the France family, NASCAR, Dale Jr., or anybody else.
Hey, so Waylon, what is it when you said you only work with people that truly support your message? Is it difficult or is it rather easy to find bands that to go on tour with and all that stuff that that not only are okay with it, but are like, go for it, dude. Like, we support you.
Most of them they're good. They just don't want nothing to do with it. And that's fine. That's fine because they know the risk that comes along with it. They do. It's a lot of times I do. Somebody's printing something. Oh, I paid something. The invoice came in. I can't expect them to hop on my banner. I can't, it's like, and that's wrong of me because like everybody has the right to choose what they want their business model to be and what they typically stand for. That's the hard part about being in this business because it is so superficial too. Like you gotta understand, a lot of people I work with, they're interested in being their own God.
Yes,
that's the thing. That's the separation of like I've transcended that. I don't want to be a god amongst men. I don't want to be worshipped. I don't want that. That's the most terrible thing possible. You're gonna send me straight to hell before I get a chance to get to the pearly gates. But if I accept that offer, and
that's the same offer that Satan made to Christ, by the way.
It is, and that's the scary part. Is I don't want that. So like anybody that meets me and they get nervous and they get like super hyper fixated that I'm meeting Waylon. Please calm down. I'm just Waylon. Ask me what video game I played today. Ask me what I had for lunch. Like I'm nothing special. I'm here. I'm lucky to be talented enough to be given the opportunity to entertain you, and that's all I want it to be looked at. Is like I really don't want anything more than that.
You have been recently, it looks like the last tour and then this coming tour. Are you doing your own headlining tours?
Yes, I'm doing my own headline tours. I bounce back and forth. I'll go do main support, and which I prefer to do. Like, to be honest with you, I like to be introduced to a crowd that has no clue who I am and what I'm about. Because
damn, that's got to be dope. They're like, whoa, we didn't expect this coming. Man, he came in hard.
I can only imagine the Fort Pierce crowd because like I said, I'm 10 minutes from there. I'm very interested in that one.
I want to go, man. I just want to see it.
You come on, guys. I'll take care of you. You just email, and we'll take care of you guys. You come and be my guest for the night.
All right.
And you'll realize too, like we're lame. I was like, what'd you do today? Well, we got the crock pot started and sit here and
worked.
All right, let's go fucking rock out.
We made it here. That's step one.
I'm more interested in eating good food and watching TV than I am anything. It's like I'm out there. I'll do the show, but I'm not out there to sit at the bar. I'm not out there to smoke pot. I'm not out there to do coke. I'm not out there to do anything but eat good food and play a good show. That's it.
Well, so you doing you headlining your own tour, I'm assuming it's a little bit more stressful, and I've never heard anything about it other than I always wanted to ask like you that whole drama with the dogma thing. Did that happen during tour or was that taken care of before tour?
That was beyond anything that I had any control with. Like that was like Dogma is on my label with me, and I spoke with the label about going out on that tour, and then all that drama unfolded, and I was like, first of all, I decided to sit back and watch the situation and make sure if it was true or not. And to be honest with you, I seen nothing like out of the ordinary. Like it's a business and they play characters, more or less. And but I seen nobody mistreated, and I did look like, trust me, that was like I was like, because it was all unfolding before it happened, but I was already committed to go do something, and I was going to go do it. And if they pulled off, that was going to be on their behalf. And ended up having all the girls over to the house. They're all from another country. Brought them here. Julie and I cooked for them, took care of them. So I made sure that they had a good meal in their stomach, and they were very sweet individuals. I will say that. It's like, but when it comes to the other members and stuff, I didn't. None of that came to play in front of me.
So you would just chalk it up as bad manager talent relations?
Yes, very much so. Like some because I can't speak on it because there's a language barrier there. They speak in Spanish. I speak bad English. I can't understand what you're saying, but I did pay attention for signs, and I've seen nothing. They were super sweet. They were sweet people. They really were. Those ladies were very very nice. And I remember we had a day off. We were going from PA to Indiana, and we had and my home was directly in the middle. And we invited them over, and the ladies came over, and we cooked a good meal for them, and just showed them some hospitality.
Nice. Did they end up doing the tour?
Yeah, they did the whole tour, okay. And but they're a little they sit on a different spectrum than we do. I mean, it's still a show, but what they stand for and what I stand for really don't mix either.
Yeah, that's right. I was kind of looking at that. I was like, man, that does. But some of the best shows in history have been wildly separate ideals.
Yes,
music.
You can't get more separate than that. Those that is a adult based show. I ain't gonna lie, it was. I really didn't do my homework on it at first, but they are super they're up there doing their thing, and I'm not trying to say anything or nothing. And then we're Save a Kid, Kill a Pedophile, and it oil and water.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's something I wanted to ask it. I know, Waylon, you are not about the drama. I really respect that about you, because what we do, it's very easy to get in the limelight to just do a call out or, create drama with another podcast or with a Navy SEAL or something. We do try to stay away from that. And I really respect the fact that, you're like, I'm doing this on my own. I don't need, bullshit support, and I don't need bullshit drama. I'm just going to do my shows, grow.
It's gone.
Dude,
I'd like to have it back, but drama.
I'm in denial, though. I still ask for a 2 up top.
Oh my God. I bick it every couple of days. I accept that it's gone, but no drama. I don't do that. I don't do the mudslinging. I don't do he said, she said. I don't do any of that. And I've had drama thrown at me, and I keep quiet. And I'm just like, that should say enough. Yeah, it really should.
Yeah,
I don't play into it. I don't sit there. Well, he said this and they did that. It's like that. Let it go. Move forward.
Well, when me and you spoke privately about some similar, business deals in our past and people we've known, you said it best. You just said greed. Greed's a motherfucker. Greed will ruin everything.
Greed does ruin everything. It's that's. Greed ruined everything in my past, like it did. I ain't gonna lie. But it is what it is. You get money involved with something, and you'll see people's true colors come out real quick.
Yeah.
Wait, Waylon, let me ask you. Let me back this up, man, because there was another component to this that you said it was greed, but there was also a lot of pharmaceuticals involved as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The pharmaceuticals were involved, so you didn't pay attention. And greed took over.
I mean, Colt said it right. Greed and gluttony, right?
Greed and gluttony is right. It's completely right. And that was my own fault. But being young and being given the world, God, I want to be a rock star. I want to be Motley Crue. I tried to do it, and it failed.
But I mean, think of the handful. Think of the handful of musicians. I mean, obviously, you've spoken to a lot of aspiring musicians, probably while you're on the road and on the internet. But think of the handful of them that will become successful, and then they'll impact 5 people themselves, and then you got 25, 30 people that are doing it right based off of the message that you put out there now, just by talking.
Hell yeah.
There was nothing out there. When you wanted to be a rock star, you were like, I guess I just better follow the breadcrumbs and hope I get picked. There was nobody going, hey, man, here's what I would do. I wouldn't take it if they didn't say this first. And you're not going to tell somebody, like, you're promising me the rock star life, and you want me to ask about, compensation and benefits, and you want me to ask about longevity? Like, no way.
My wife, we theorize in my home all the time with my wife and I, and it's like she wouldn't have tolerated like how my past was. Like she would have been like, no, you're not signing that. No, you're not doing that. Like, and she, like Julie, my wife is my business partner. She's my best friend. Like she's the love of my life. And she has my best interest always put first. Like, cause my best interest are her best interest.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to have that. Like how many people could say that their partner is that close to them and loves them so much that she is going to make sure that I never put myself in that position again, because it's all about taking care of our family.
I'm right there with you, brother. My wife keeps me on the straight and narrow every single day. Every single day.
You know, and it's like I try to give her all the credit in the world. I can't give her enough. I can't.
I'm here.
I try.
Well, that's a blessing from the Lord, partner.
It is. It completely is. You know, it's like I'll tell you a funny story about my wife. My wife had open heart surgery when we lived in Florida. She had a mitral valve. She had a hole in it, and then she had to have it fixed. And the healthcare down there wasn't the greatest. And we came and we started looking to moving back up north into Ohio, PA. We were looking, and we found a house. And we were having to do everything remotely because it was post-COVID, or like coming out. And we got up here and we were on tour. I was with Struggle Jennings, and we had a day off, and it was my wife's birthday. And we had put a bid on this house, but we had not got this house right here. And we had not got the bid or anything, but we were like, she flew into town because she was not out with me because she was healing from surgery. And I hopped in the van and went and got her. And I was like, hey, do you want to go to the neighborhood and like, do you want to go see his house in person? And she's like, yes. And we went and we got to this house. And she come in, and there's a park, and there's a splash pad, and it's community. It's a beautiful place where I'm at. And we left, and she goes, oh my God, I want that so bad. And I looked at her and I was like, okay. And we got to my bass player's house, and I go, and I just like, excuse me for a few minutes, so I'll go to the bathroom. And I go sit down in the bathroom, and I prayed. And I said, Lord, I've turned everything around. Can you do this for my wife? She wants it. You know, I've done everything that you've asked me, and I'm gonna continue to do. I'm gonna continue living the straight and narrow. And if you could just see this one through. And I walked out of the bathroom. My wife's running at me. We got it.
That's amazing.
Got it.
Fucking dope.
And I've never told that story publicly.
Really?
No.
Really?
Story publicly.
That's really heartfelt.
And that meant the world to me because she wanted this. And I asked for her. I was like, can you do this for her? And we got this. And when my wife and I got together, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Yeah. We didn't have.
After you've been a rock star?
I had nothing. And everything that's good to me was post Mushroomhead.
Damn, dude. We got to talk about that. Like the fucking coming out of the rock star world.
Had nothing. I didn't have anything. I
mean, we don't. Fuck, Tyler. Can we get a part 2?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
man.
come back if you guys have enjoyed. I would totally come back. I've enjoyed.
Wow,
this.
We love it, dude.
You're getting me to talk about things I normally don't talk about. I don't talk about my faith. I don't talk about. Maybe I should more, but you know,
dude, Tyler and I, we started kind of talking about it, and it was really Tyler that was the impetus, and it fucking resonated, man. I mean, we cuss and we drink and we smoke and we do all the, you know, the things that the Baptists wouldn't want us to do. But I mean, we're faithful dudes, man. Man, I would love to have you back, even if it's like, hey, man, 20 minutes with Waylon. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fucking hey.
I'll be more than honored to come back. I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
this, guys. I feel good about this. I feel like I needed to do this. I feel like I needed to let people know where I really stand. Because like I'm not afraid of it. you know, I'm not afraid to speak on it now. You know,
Well,
I've never been afraid to speak about the pedophile, but I've always had a hesitancy to speak about my faith.
We did too.
we all did, brother.
We were getting it out of each other. We were we finally got Mike to talk about Christianity. It's just when you're with the dudes at work, when you're around a bunch of dudes, I'm telling you, I'm getting myself out of it. The last thing I want to hear is, can I talk to you about Christ? Like, oh man, come on, weirdo. You know, but you know, you're supposed to go tell the lady cutting your deli meat at the grocery store, like, hey, is your day good? Do you want to learn about Jesus? That's what we're supposed to do. So it's kind of like finding that good minimum where, you know, or that good middle ground where you can talk about it. And, you know, like, trust us, I'm 30, about to be 38. And it's, you know, my wife drags it out of me, you know, we drag it out of each other. So
you know, but I'll tell you right now, everything I have is because of him, and I won't deny that.
Same here.
Well,
Same
I
here.
mean, it's also very possible, Waylon, that a lot of these things that are on your heart came from Christ also. I mean, you know, let's just be real here. You know, if you want to be Christ-like, driving people out with a whip and a fucking chair isn't outside the realm of possibility, neither.
It is. And you know, the funny part is, it's like, I tell people all the time, it's like, I do what he wants and I'm okay. I'm never going to be rich. I have no aspirations to ever being a millionaire.
That's the enemy, right? The enemy comes from that shit.
Yes. Because I'll tell you how this works. Everybody, you know, you always need to work towards something. You need to. It's part of it. It's like you need to earn it. You need to go out there and put a hard day's work in. But when you have the ability to have anything, don't you think about it? I've got 5 Lambos, and I got a Lamborghini, I got a Ferrari, I've got a yacht. What happens when you've had everything at your fingertips? What happens?
That's you morally, you know.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. So I don't want that. I don't want that. I want my wife and I to go into retirement, be able to snowbird, go down to Florida, and, you know, sit on a porch, hold her hand, tell her how much I love her every day. That's all. That's the end goal for me.
Well, as a fan, Waylon, I don't want you to do that, but I 100% get it.
You know, it's like I have a few years left at this, just a few. I have no aspirations to be doing this when I'm 60. I have no, you know, it's like, this is a young man's game. It takes everything out of you to be out there. You miss birthdays, you miss graduations, you miss weddings, you miss family time. You're separated from everybody. It's the loneliest place on the planet, but it's what I chose to do, and I'm gonna see it through. But I'm gonna see it through with the right message. But at the end of the day, I want it to be over too. I don't want to still always be in the limelight. I never did. I don't want.
When you're not doing it for you, it's a job. It's a job that you love doing. But when you're not doing it for moi, it's work. And God wants you to eat, and you know, He wants you to work. He wants you to have that ability. So I love what you do, Waylon. I respect you tremendously for not trying to get the octane hits and the Lambos, and you know.
I would crash it. I did. Now I'm not gonna lie. I have the cheap Lambo. I have a Nissan Z, but that was because I had a midlife crisis when I had my grandbaby.
We all got.
I am still young.
We all have something sitting at our house that costed thousands of dollars. That was a midlife crisis.
What? My wife just spoke up. She goes, "You're only 47." And but you know, it's like I've been blessed with some good things. But in reality, you know, it's like I just want my wife to be taken care of. I want my family to be taken care of. I want to know that they're going to be okay when, God forbid, if I'm not here anymore. I want them to be all right. That's it, you know. And I don't think that's much to wish for.
No,
you know?
It's not.
It's just be modest, live within your means, and you know, you be taken care of. Just make the right decisions.
All right. Well, and thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, real quick, I want to put it back. Justin, if you're in here, can you put up image 025? An actual producer is in here, but I'll put it up and then he can adjust it. You'll be in Wilmington, Somerville, Gastonia, North Carolina, Atlanta, Fort Pierce, Lake Worth Beach, Tampa. These are all in Florida. Orlando, Jacksonville, Florida, Houston, Texas, Haltom City, Texas, Austin, Texas. I can't spell. Abilene, Oklahoma City, and St. Louis. So
Staying down in the Bible Belt.
Yeah, if anybody is around these areas, man, this is going to be a killer show.
And you guys just know, just don't judge a book by its cover. You know, somebody said earlier, and I've seen it, it's like this message is a little dark for me. It's not dark. It's just reality. And there's nothing dark about what we do.
Amen, brother. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Go check out A Killer's Confession. Obviously, Instagram. You run your own YouTube. You guys got your own YouTube.
It's all us, all in house. All right. Everything is us. And my wife is behind most of the social media, and I'm there when it's time to go live and to make posts about her. But other than that, it's us. So,
all right, buy some merch. I linked the merch website up in the comment section, so that's pinned. But everybody, we will see you again tomorrow for one of the flagship broadcasts, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Thanks for support, everybody. Waylon, thanks again. We will talk soon.
Thank you.
All right.
JV team for life.